What's up, guys? Welcome to Football Talk Episode 2. I am Marksman. So today we're going to be breaking down some NCAA and NFL news with their picks for this week and a poopy weekend for NCAA games and a pretty good week for NFL. Coming at you 9/13/2014, 9 a.m. in the morning. Get up early to do this crap. Game day's on, so listen to us instead of game day because, you know, we're better than them. We'll bring in Kyle in just a couple minutes. But first, just shout out to everybody that was in my German class and failed to do their homework, so now we have to do quizzes. But you know what? That's okay. All right, well, we'll move into our NCAA picks. Kyle, where are you?
I'm here, and
Okay.
that was a nice shout out to your German class. That was very nice.
Yeah, I literally was pissed off yesterday for that. Probably the only good week, only two good games this weekend in college sports, and UGA in South Carolina. UGA going into the Gamecocks' cage where they're getting gamecocked and ready in the gamecockedness of cockiness and stuff. But anyways, the Bulldogs go in there, and last time they were there, they lost. I just remember the 21-point just blowout in like the
lead.
first quarter.
Yeah.
So, who do you got in this game, Kyle?
Well, for me, South Carolina is actually one of the more underrated venues in the country. It's loud. If you have a chance, look up what Musburger and Herb Street said about it after Ace Sanders' punt return a couple years ago in that same game. But going into this game today, South Carolina got embarrassed the first week at home against Texas A&M and struggled last week with ECU. So to me, second SEC game, they got a chance for redemption. To me, and no pun intended because it's a game, they're the Gamecocks, they're a caged animal.
Yeah.
I think they're ready for this game, but I also think Georgia, they had a bye week to prepare for this after beating Clemson at home. I think this is a very close game. In the end, I think the more talented team prevails. I'm going with the Georgia Bulldogs.
And for my pick, I'm going to pick the Gamecocks as well.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, just because I think that they'll bounce back. And damn it. And Georgia, they've only played Clemson, and everybody's like Todd Gurley's the best rusher in the game, which he's pretty daggone good, but he also has only played one game, and they're going off of last year's stats. So,
well, but here's the thing with Gurley.
Sense.
Gurley's a phenomenal player, and he's one of the best. He's one of the best, if not the best, running back in college football right now. But they're basing it off one game. If we based it, like I said, if we based the season off one game, then Florida State would be like number 25, and then we'd have Oklahoma number 1 because they dismantled Louisiana Tech. So you can't base the season off one game.
Tulsa.
Exactly. So you really can't, like I said, don't base it off one game. I think this game is close today. I don't think this is a blowout by any means, but I think in the end, Georgia finds a way to win.
Yeah, if we were looking at one game, then Penn State would be number 2, USC would be number 3, Oregon would be like up there too. I mean, come on. So
I think Arkansas would be up there if you based it on last week.
yeah. I want to go to get the Fighting Artichokes of Northern Arizona Community College.
Best mascot in the game.
Yeah. Moving on. USC heads into Boston College to take on the Eagles, which will not be Fly Eagle flying.
Soar?
Soar
Eagle soar?
Soar
Maybe?
Eagle? War Eagle. Yeah, because we're the Tigers. Yeah. Because, But Trojans, they played really well against Stanford last week. Had a big defensive play late in the game because Hogan fumbles more than most people fumble. I'm not going to go into that pun, but you know what? It's okay because that was going to be pretty bad. But
two really smart pickers picked USC last week.
Yeah, I mean, we also know one guy that didn't pick it and thought that a chop block should not be illegal.
That was clean.
And that
clean
David
call.
Ortiz causes the Cardinals hitters to not be able to hit. But I'm picking USC in this game. Even though Boston College can put up points, I just think USC's on a roll. I can see them possibly in the playoff in January. So,
Yep. I'm going to agree with you on that.
Yep.
And because, USC looked great last week, and they if you go look at the stats, they got dominated in that game by Stanford and somehow found a way to win. So that just shows you that, like, the so-called, oh, this team doesn't have depth. They obviously have depth.
Yeah.
And this team now, I think now Boston College, pesky at home. They'll keep USC at bay for maybe a quarter and a half, and then the Trojans will just pour it on and fight on to another victory. Big. I expect it to be a big win.
I like how you said fight on. That's kind of
Mm-hmm.
yeah, okay. All right. Well, your boys head into the swamp, take on Florida, UK. Who you got in this game, Kyle?
Florida. Kentucky, young team, for most of these kids, first time in a big-time environment. It's going to be tough, especially against a good Florida team that they haven't beaten since, 1987. So,
Yeah, well, I'm going to go with the not so fast, mister. I'm going to say UK
Ooh.
beats them in an upset.
Wow.
And I'll probably not get that like I did last year.
No, but
still,
if you do,
I'm just that smart because I got VTech last week.
UCF last year,
UCF last year. Freaking
37-30.
37-30, 40-21 on Madden with 4 picks.
Yeah, but it was Eli Manning.
I don't care. You were trying to scramble with him. What's your problem? God,
I don't know.
You can't scramble around with Eli.
I just like scrambling with players. That's just my DNA on Madden.
Obviously, that's all you did with Russell Wilson whenever we played. Yeah, we won't get into that because I'll get angry.
No.
All right, but moving into the NFL, this week Ray Rice's left-handed falcon punch of his girlfriend came out in a video, and it was pretty disgusting to see. And now there's stuff with Adrian Peterson's come out, which is really stupid. I don't know. We don't really know all the details, all the way. But if you can't hit your kid with a switch, then I think every single kid that grew up in the South, their parents should probably go to jail because that was like Saturday mornings for me, just getting spanked because I did something wrong. So
it's just discipline, and I'm not condoning the actions because we don't know like you said, we don't know the entire details. But seriously, I understand, like it's a whooping. But to get indicted for this, and he's going to miss the game Sunday, and fantasy owners across the country weep. So, but I don't understand it. And this is, like I said, I've told you this personally. I think this could, it's one of the worst weeks in the history of the National Football League because of everything that's gone on this week.
Yeah, the Ray Rice ordeal should never have happened in the first place. If the NFL saw it, then he should have been gone from the game of football. It's heinous. It's disgusting. I think we tried to do this. We tried to do football talk on the 11th. It didn't really work out, but I think you said to you, this is like the worst thing you can do, and I was like, oh no, rape is probably the worst thing you can do, but it's definitely up there, you know. And I think that anybody. Like, Greg Hardy should be gone right now. He should be suspended.
No, if those allegations are true and those turn out to be true, that's just disgusting. Yeah. And these guys are... Yep, exactly. And that guy's still playing. And the same with Hardy. That's just kind of sickening. But the thing is, these guys are professional athletes, and they're supposed to conduct themselves in a professional manner, but they go out and do this just disgust. This is... Hitting a woman is up there, and just the most disgusting things you could do to a woman. And it's just not fair that these guys they have to worry. These guys on the teams, such as the Panthers, such as the Ravens, such as the Niners, have to worry about these while playing on the field. His teammates have to worry, how long is he going to be here until because they see what happened with the Rice situation and go, oh, well, he's going to get suspended, but for how long? And the right actions were done with Rice. The right actions were taken for him not to be in the NFL currently. And I don't know about Hardy or McDonald, but I just think, if Goodell saw the video and stuck with the 2-game suspension, oh boy.
Yeah, he's probably gone. And I don't remember what I ranted about last time, but I don't know. Like, if you see this stuff, you should probably just go ahead and resign. Even though, the Steve Biscotti or whatever the hell his name is from the Baltimore Ravens said that he knows Roger, and he could tell that Roger's telling the truth. So
Roger could be telling the truth.
He could be.
Yeah, so.
because we don't know if it's
We'll
actually
see.
true that he got like the replay of the stuff,
Exactly.
or if the officials sent it in. So until all the facts get true, everybody can speculate, everybody can make stuff about it. Every women's organization can cry out, every senator can cry out, but until we know the facts, there's no point in bitching about it because when it comes down to it, you're always innocent until proven guilty. So I'm not defending him at all because I think that if he had seen it, he should freaking get his ass torched. But I'm not gonna get into that.
Mm-hmm.
So
No, very well said on that
yeah.
though.
All right. Well, we'll move into our NFL picks on a lighter note, I guess.
Yeah.
As the Dolphins go up to Buffalo, the new acquired Buffalo Bills from the Sabres owner to take on the Buffalo Bills. Yay!
Get to stay in Buffalo. Yes.
Yes. Good job,
Get
Buffalo.
out of here, Bon Jovi.
And
You get out of here.
are we in agreement on this pick? Are we in agreement on it's gonna be the Buffalo Bills?
I'm going to go with the Bills mainly because they surprised me last week. And if you listened to Football Talk last week, I said this team lost the heart of their defense. It's going to be tough. And I even wrote on my preview for sportstalkfeed.com. Go
Nice
check out my
self-plug.
Thank
Self-plug.
you. If you want to go check out my articles, I did an ASC's preview, and
Don't do it. It's not
I
worth
thought the
it.
loss of Kiko Alonso, I thought the loss of Kiko Alonso would be a huge blow to this defense, but they stepped up last week, not only on that side of the ball, made some plays, Mario Williams, Kyle Williams, even offensively, guys like Robert Woods stepping up, Sammy Watkins, and Fred Jackson, man.
Chris
Just that
Canty can't
beast.
tackle now.
Chris Conti's just like, I'm going to tackle him. 3 stiff arms. Fred Jackson's like, get out of my way.
White
So,
boy.
so I think EJ Manuel plays well in their first home game. I think the Dolphins played very well last week, but it's going to be tougher uphill sledding this week on the road in Buffalo against a team with a decent run defense. And we'll see how Tannehill and Marino capitalize on their performance from last week as well as Mike Wallace. But I do think this will kind of be a low-scoring game. I think this will be in the teens, but I'm going to go with the Bills.
Yeah, I think the Dolphins pass rush will get to EJ a couple times, but because I think Patriots had a better offensive line than the Bills, but we'll see. That will be a good game this weekend. Another good game, which I actually get, surprisingly on CBS. Falcons head up to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. Now, Falcons last week, I don't know who called it, but they did kind of beat the Saints. I call that. So
I didn't.
yeah, we know. Don't worry. We also called the Titans over the Chiefs, so we're even.
Yay!
So, you know, Falcons looked good. Their defense is still extremely shaky. Their offense looks spectacular. Ryan, 448 yards. Yeah, all right. Yeah, just go ahead and pass for your 5,000-yard season finally. Finally do it. But I'm gonna pick the Bengals just because they're at home. Their defense is stacked. Their offense is AJ Green. So I mean, I'm just gonna pick the Bengals because they're at home and it's the
Tough
Bengals.
place.
Yeah.
Yep. Both teams coming off impressive wins. Falcons at home over division rival Saints, but I was actually more impressed with the Bengals going out on the road and doing what they did to the Ravens, and that looked even more impressive after what the Ravens did this past Thursday. So,
We both picked the Ravens, didn't we?
yes, we did.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So I just think it's going to be hard for the Atlanta secondary to match up with guys like A.J. Green and Jermaine Gresham after Tyler Eifert goes down with a dislocated elbow. Speedy recovery, Tyler. Have you ever listened to this? Gio Bernard, Jeremy Hill, two-headed monster, and Atlanta struggled against the run last week. It's going to be tough for them. I think Andy Dalton throws for 300. I think Jeremy Hill gets in the end zone once. I think Gio gets in the end zone once. I think this will be a good game. Atlanta's going to keep it close because they have the weapons, Roddy, Julio, Matt Ryan playing the way he does. But I think they'll find a way to contain that Atlanta running game with guys like Vontaze Perfect, Geno Atkins getting closer and closer to 100%, and the impact player that he was a year ago before his injury. So I'm going to go with the Bengals.
Yeah. Good. All right. Well, moving across down to the Browns, take on the Saints. Ew.
Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah. Saints and Browns. I think that the Browns defense will actually give the Saints hell for the most part of the game. It's their offensive guy get going earlier than the fourth quarter. I'm looking at you, Brian Hoyer, and the offensive coordinator. I don't even know who the offense coordinator is. It's probably Eric
Kyle
Mangini, right?
Kyle Shanahan.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was thinking Eric Mangini, but
My goodness, that guy.
he's actually a good analyst. He's smart, but he just doesn't know how to coach.
He's probably the only good one on ESPN.
I don't know. Mark Brunell's on there now, and I love Mark Brunell.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I got a Brunell jersey, actually.
Which one is it, though?
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville? Yeah, he's the reason why he put him on the map, bro. He brought in David Garrard, man. But Browns, Saints, is it across the board New Orleans?
I think New Orleans stinging from that loss last week, especially Colston. I think Colston has a big game. I mean, Brandon Cooks continues on his nice outing in his rookie debut. I think guys like Cameron Jordan, Junior Gillette, Jarius Byrd has another pick. I think he's very impact player, brought over from the Bills on a nice contract. I think he'll make another pick. I think the Browns, good team. Josh Gordon probably going to come back mid-season now with a new drug policy. So I just think the Saints, like I said, more talented team, and Browns get closer to Johnny coming off that bench. So we'll go with the Saints.
Okay. Your boys, the Cowgirls, had Titans.
Hold up.
And
we them boys.
Tennessee, they looked really good last week.
Yes, they did.
Locker looked really good, and their defense looked good.
You and me have always said this about Jake Locker. When he's healthy, he's a very above average quarterback.
Yeah,
not
especially
a great
last
quarterback.
year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
he's
who are
finally
you
hit
picking
this kind of like 5-year thing. I want to take the Titans.
Ooh.
I know you're going to take the Cowboys because it's your Cowboys, but I'm going to take the Titans just because I want to see them succeed because I want to see different people win the playoffs. Finally. Honest to God. And they could take a commanding lead over that division if the Texans choose to lose this weekend against Oakland. But I want to take Titans over Cowboys. I just think
very nice.
It will. I think it may be the Titans' year to finally make a push into the playoffs. Not like deep, but at least finally get a playoff spot.
You mean not like 08 when they got the 1 seed with Kerry Collins?
That was so dirty though, and then they got beat.
Yes, it was. Yes, they did. But this game, Cowboys struggled last week, obviously with a better team in the Niners. Niners could have won by so much more. The score does not indicate how big of a difference that game really was until late. So going into a hostile road environment, yes, Tennessee's got one of the best home crowds in the league. I said that. I think Tennessee offense is clicking right now. Sean Reed and Bishop Sankey in the backfield. They got Justin Hunter and Kendall Wright, weapons developing. Delaney Walker at tight end, and so they're going to have the weapons. And I think they'll put up points. But I also think the Cowboys will put up some points. Romo obviously wants to really show he's better than he is last week. Des Bryant's going to come back with a vengeance this week. I think he has 2 touchdowns, and I think the Cowboys walk into LP Field and say, "Hey, we'll get at least 1 win this year." I think the Cowboys win this game.
At least.
Yep. And that coming from guys, that's coming from a Cowboys fan. I said on last week on Football Talk, it's going to be a long year. Hopefully we can get a win here, though.
If you guys don't get the win here that you should, what does that put you guys in, like, Jesus mode? Like, oh my God, we're done.
Well, I mean, considering we would go to St. Louis next week.
Oh, never mind, that's a win.
Exactly.
So, we'll move on then to to the people that played St. Louis last week, the Vikings and Patriots. First game away from home for the Vikings. Really, they're waiting for their new stadium to be built, but they're in the Golden Gopher Stadium.
TCF Bank.
Where the Gopher distracts kickers. So, Vikings and Patriots. Yes. I chose the Patriots the first time that we did this, but I'm kind of. Oh, I don't know now. Never mind. No Peterson. I'm gonna go Patriots again. I don't know how. I mean, I know they got Cordero Patterson on the run game. I know they got a decent backup, which, yeah. But it's Peterson. He is kind of like the heart of that whole team. And Matt Castle will have a good game. They can easily beat the Patriots defense, but I want to see how the Vikings defense stacks up against Tom Brady and his receivers, Julian Edelman, and their amazing running game. So,
yep. Yeah. This game, obviously without Peterson, it's going to be really tough for the Vikings. Castle played very well last week. He showed glimpses of the Matt Castle we saw both in Kansas City and that year with New England when he started for Brady. So I think New England's itching to get back on that field and prove, hey, we're not going anywhere. We're still one of the top teams in the AFC. But I think the Vikings are out there to prove, like, hey, we're no fluke this year. We got a new coach, new offensive coordinator, Norv Turner. And I think they're going to be ready. I think guys like Matt Asiata, Jerick McKinnon step up in the backfield, taking place for Peterson. I think they're going to run a lot of plays through Cordero Patterson now. I think the defense steps up. Harrison Smith, Chad Greenway, and in the words of Roman Reigns, believe in the Vikings.
Oh, okay, nice.
Taking the Vikings. Yes, Roman, I know you played for the Vikings for a brief stint. So
Practice squad.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the Cardinals go to New York to face the G-Men. And the Cardinals missing their top pass rusher in John Abraham, who has left the team due to memory loss and is probably done with his NFL career. Truly saddened by this. One of my favorite defensive players of all time. One of my favorite Falcons of all time. And he was doing good for him, too, and for the Cardinals. And so shout-outs to him. Hopefully he gets better. And
thoughts and prayers out to him and his family, and
definitely.
hopes for a nice recovery.
Definitely. But in light of that, I'm still going to pick the Cardinals to beat the Giants. The Giants looked bad against Stafford in them, even though Stafford they went kind of mellow second and third quarters, and then they were just like, let's just finally just beat them in the fourth. And they did by 21. I think Carson Palmer will have a decent game. I think Larry Fitzgerald will have a beast game because they can't guard size on that defense. So I'm going to pick the Cardinals. I know the Giants are home, but Eli, he's struggling in that new offense. And I think that Eli, even though he'll have 2 bad years and they'll win the Super Bowl the next year, I just don't think that he's trying to do too much on that team. So
yes, he is.
So I'm going to pick Cardinals over Giants.
Okay. I'm going to go with the Cardinals, too. And here's the thing about I've always been hard on Carson Palmer, and everybody knows that. But I really, truly think after watching Monday night and the gritty performance that he and his team in that comeback win over the Chargers pulled, I think Carson Palmer is playing as good as any quarterback in the NFL right now. Yes, I said it.
Only one game.
I know it's only one game, but at the end of last season.
Yeah.
What he was able to do, pushing the Cardinals to the brink of a playoff berth, and whatever. I mean, they're going to have the talent this year defensively. Guys like Tyrann Mathieu coming back soon. The Honey Badger, playmaker. Patrick Peterson, obviously one of the best corners in the game. I mean, they're going to have the talent. Offensively, Fitzgerald, Floyd, Brown, Ellington, Dwyer, Stephon. I mean, it's a deep team at multiple positions.
Yeah.
And I think all those receivers, I think Floyd, not Fitzgerald, has a big game tomorrow. And I think the Cardinals walk into MetLife. And the thing with Eli, man, is Eli's struggling. Eli could struggle in a peewee offense right now.
Yeah.
It's just not there, and it's not all his fault. Not a lot of talents there, especially in the running back and wide receiver. It's a struggle right now for the Giants. It's going to be another struggling year for the Giants. So maybe the Cowboys can get a win there too. But yes, I'm going to go with the Cardinals.
Probably not, because the Cowboys seem not to be able to play the Giants.
We swept them last year.
That's what I'm saying. That was last year, but you guys still went 8-8, so at least you guys got 2 of your 8 wins from them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Jaguars
Okay.
they go into FedEx Field, take on the Redskins. Now, Redskins, they did so much good on offense last week, right? Against Jadeveon and the Texans and JJ Swat and
Yeesh, that offense.
And,
Yikes.
yeah. I'm going with the upset. I'm going to say Jaguars walk into FedEx and take down the Redskins to move to 1-1 after almost shocking the Eagles last week, even though they ate the bones. So
that's gutsy pick. I'm going to go with the Redskins. I think they bounce back at home. I think RG3. I'm going to stick with the pick that the Redskins will win this division. I still believe it. Right now, at least. We'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Can I revoke that, please?
You can. But I think Jacksonville, they played very well on the road last week for the first half. Struggled, obviously, in the second half. But showed glimpses. Henne, Gerhardt's got to play better, and I think he will. Alan Hearns come back down to earth after his phenomenal performance. Throwing up the U, Alan. Very nice. But I think, guys, RG3, Alfred Morris, Deshaun Jackson, I think he breaks out in this game finally for the Redskins. It seems like he's been waiting to break out since like the end of last season in Philly. So I'm going to go with the Redskins at home to get a win.
All right. Where am I at? Where am I at? Oh, yeah. Lions and Panthers. Lions head into Bank of America
game.
Stadium, take on the Panthers. Panthers, I was telling Kyle, because I watched the Panthers Tampa Bay game. If Tampa Bay didn't have such a bad offensive line, the Panthers were not going to walk out of there with a win. Because they kind of lost all gas in the fourth. And they almost lost, which is hilarious. But Bobby Rainey decided to fumble on that last drive. But
Fumblerooski.
I don't think that they were having trouble covering, and I think because Stafford's a better quarterback than McCown, and they have Calvin Johnson, and that defense looked really good against the Giants. Really good against the Giants. Like, they weren't getting anywhere other than a couple touchdowns they scored. But still, I'm going to go with the NFC North team in this one, the Lions, over the Panthers, even though I think it will be like a win by like 3 or 4.
I think Panthers defense really helped them obviously last week win the game. Derek Anderson playing quarterback, but Cam Newton looks like he's going to play. So, and I truly think the Panthers are better than people expect. Oh, they lost all their weapons. Well, they still have Greg Olsen, top 10 tight end in the league. Kelvin Benjamin, who had a phenomenal catch last week, played a phenomenal game. Guys like Jericho Cotchery, guys like Taekwon Underwood who can make plays. D'Angelo Williams in the backfield, Jonathan Stewart. Defensively, Kuechly, obviously some of those guys. I think the guy that steps up on the defense this week is Thomas Davis. I think Thomas Davis will have a very good game. I think he'll get pressure on Stafford. And I just think that they'll find a way to contain that high-powered offense in Calvin. I do think Calvin will still have a good game, and I think Stafford will put up some numbers. But in the end, I think this will be a game, low 20s. But I do see the Panthers starting 2-0 again.
That'd be cool. Seahawks head into San Diego, take on the Chargers. Another good game this weekend in the NFL. Other than the next game that we had to pick, which I get on Fox. Chargers are always good at home. Seahawks are pretty good on the road. I want to go with the Seahawks on this one just because I don't really want to talk about last Thursday, and still don't want to talk about last Thursday. So, Seahawks over the Chargers. That's my pick.
I'm going to go with the Seahawks. I think the Chargers, they're going to want to come out and say, hey, we got beat on Monday Night Football, but we can get a nice win against the defending Super Bowl champions. Over-under on how many balls they throw Sherman's way, because I'm going to say maybe over-under on 3, and I'm going to take the under.
Yeah.
I just think the Legion of Boom is going to be able to they're going to be more physical. Some of those smaller receivers like Keenan Allen and Eddie Royal for San Diego, I think they're going to be able to outmuscle them. And I think the running game, Chris Clemens, Bruce Irvin, some of those guys on the defense are going to be able to crowd around them. I think they pick off Rivers twice, and I think the Seahawks get a nice win and start 2-0 in San Diego.
Yeah, definitely.
Legion of Boom.
Oh, God, this game. Jesus.
Cam Chancellor.
Rams, Buccaneers.
Oh, goodness.
I was going to pick the Bucs. I don't have anything to say.
Yeah, we really don't need to go into this.
Yeah.
Rams said you were good with Sean Hill. Obviously not. You have a good defense. You'll keep it close for maybe a quarter or two, but the Buccaneers are just a more talented team. Plus, the Buccaneers want to get a win after last week, going into Atlanta next week on Thursday night, which I will be there.
And please to God, wear your Reds.
Exactly. I'd like to see them wear those. But, yeah, don't really need to go in depth. Bucs.
Yeah. Chiefs and Broncos. Chiefs, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, going into Sports Authority after being embarrassed at home.
Yeah.
I'm going to choose the Buccaneers. Oh, my God. I'm going to choose the Broncos. Manning had 3 touchdowns, 294 yards. I think 294, yeah. Because Andrew Luck had like 370, so, and they still lost. But, yeah, I'm going to take the Broncos over the Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs looked horrible last week. That offensive line obviously showed, like the 3 losses of Asamoah, Albert, It's just it looks like it's gonna really hurt that team, and it takes them a step back. Plus, receiving core is not as good as they used to be, especially Dwayne Bowe, back from
Yeah.
suspension this week, but it's gonna be tough for him to get going. He didn't do much last year. It's just the team. They had a good start last year. Now part of it was a favorable schedule. Didn't play the Broncos until like what week 10. So, but this year they get the Broncos bright and early out in Mile High. Broncos are the better team. Broncos defense is better than people think. Peyton Manning, Demarius Thomas, Julius Thomas, Wes Welker probably going to play. Suspension lifted, so I think he distributes the ball very nicely, and I think the Broncos win very handily.
Yeah, if you don't start Julius Thomas last week, I feel sorry for you because he had all
I
three
feel
of the touchdowns.
so sorry for you.
Yeah,
Oh no.
yeah. Jets. This is the game I was gonna go do. Jets and Packers. Super excited about this game. And instead of getting this game on CBS, I get the Broncos game because that apparently works out somehow, and I would rather see the Packers game.
Geographically, that apparently works.
Yeah. So I'm saddened because I wanted to see this because I like both teams a lot. Packers. I'm green and blue. I mean, I'm green and yellow in the blood. Green and blue. Yeah. Woo. Yeah. But I think that that defense is stellar. Eddie Lacy's been cleared to play. I'm saying the Jets defense is stellar.
Yep.
Like Eddie Lacy's been cleared to play. Packers got embarrassed, not really embarrassed, but beat down. They've iced their wounds. 10 days rest. Let's go. Let's do it. Packers over the Jets by 10.
Hmm.
Yep.
I think this will be a closer game than people think. Packers
Keenan's
obviously
gonna have a good
want.
game.
Yeah, Packers obviously want to come back and say, like that last week wasn't an indication of what team we will be this season. Tough environment in Seattle, like they didn't play so well. This week they get the Jets at home, and don't discredit the Jets. Oh, they struggled with the Raiders. Okay, it's a first game. Everybody struggles. Here, the Jets have an underrated defense. DeBrickashaw Ferguson, nice name. Muhammad Wilkerson, possibly D. Millen are back in that secondary. That could be a key factor if he comes back or not, obviously. Offensively, I think the Jets are better than they were a year ago, and they still went 8-8 with literally very little at the skill positions. So, Packers obviously at home. I think Eddie Lacy comes back in a big way, couple touchdowns, 40 yards or so, and I think the Packers get a win by 6.
By 6? Nice. Now, in another game that will be really good this week, Texans and Raiders. Now, the Fitzpatrick, he liked to target that right side of the field, and my boy,
C. Wood.
yeah, C. Wood, Hall of Famer in both leagues, is gonna get some picks, and he's gonna finally get that pick 6 that puts him over the record. And by the way, in the Packers game, meant to say this, A.J. Hawk only needs 9 more tackles to be the all-time leader in tackles for the Packers, which is impressive, but still. Raiders game, I think that Derek Carr looked good. I'm not starting James Jones because I had to drop him because Peterson decided to do stuff, and it's killing me because I love James Jones, and now the Texans are missing Jadeveon. So even though they're my defensive fantasy, I'm going to say that the Raiders beat the Texans by 8.
In the black hole, Raiders coming
in the black hole.
Home opener in the black hole. Those fans are crazy no matter what's going on. I wouldn't want to be there December 7th when the Niners come to town.
Oh, God.
But I think it's going to be a good game. Carr, he looked better than most people expected. Nice voice crack there, I know.
Uh-huh.
I think Houston, Clowney gone. I still think Watt finds a way to. I don't think the Raiders will run for much. I think Carr's going to have to throw, just like I think Fitzpatrick's going to have to throw a lot. And I think the Texans. I know I said the Raiders on Thursday, but it's looking trendier and trendier. I think this game goes down to the last minute of the game, and I think the Raiders make a big play and still win this game.
Yeah, you know who will probably win it for him? He's a
Justin
bass.
Tuck.
He's
Justin
from
Tuck.
the sea. Sebastian Janikowski gonna do something with that foot.
That guy.
That guy, yeah, that guy.
Guy's got a cannon for a leg. It's just like.
He's old as dump. All right.
Yes, he is. He even looks like it too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll go with the Raiders by 3. Sebastian Janikowski game-winning field goal in the last minute.
Remember whenever Sean Leckler was there? It was like the two oldest
Shane
freaking
Leckler.
Shane Leckler, like two oldest freaking kickers like in the freaking league
Remember
were on that
Ryan?
one
You
team.
remember Ryan Longwell?
Yeah, dude. He's not still with the
No.
yeah, because he was a Packer for years and he went to the freaking Minnesota Vikings.
Rob Baronis, all these old kickers. Vinatieri's still doing it at
Dude,
43, boy.
oh, Matt Bryant. Whenever the Falcons had Anderson, it's like, dude, he's like 58. What is he
Saw
doing
him
out there?
play. Saw him play.
Well, I mean, you have to think about it though, because only two seasons ago, the dude for the Lions finally retired.
Oh,
Had been
yeah,
there for
what,
20
Hansen?
years. Yeah, Hansen. Yeah,
Oh, my
been there for
gosh.
20 years. Moving on
Good.
to another NFC versus NFC West matchup. Jesus God, God have mercy on their souls in Chicago. 49ers take on the Bears at home. First
Yeah.
game, home opener in Levi Stadium.
Beautiful facility.
You know, the toilet bowl seats are going to get their crap beat out of them. No pun intended. If you ever just go look at the Bears symbol. It looks like a toilet bowl seat, man. I'm telling you.
No,
want one of those.
I see that.
I should get one of their symbols and put it on my toilet bowl so I can sit down on it every single day and let loose the atomic fury of my bowels.
Well,
So let's see.
well, the Bears do that for their fans' chances every year, so.
Damn.
I
All
hate
right.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. My God.
If you haven't checked out that video, go look up Packers win, Bears fans lose it, or everyone goes nuts on YouTube. You'll laugh. It's very hysterical.
After you're done watching this, though.
Yes,
Yep.
you have to finish listening to us first. Bear with us. So who are you picking in this game, Tyler?
Picking the 49ers. Oh, God.
Okay. I'm going to go with the Niners as well. I think Kaepernick looked very good last week in the limited time he had throwing the ball because, let's face it, they didn't need to throw the ball much to beat the Cowboys. I think at home, because they struggled in the preseason, didn't look like they should have. They're out to prove they are still one of the best teams in the NFL. I think they proved that this week with a nice win over the Bears. I think the Bears, especially if they start 0-2, the finger's going to be pointed at Jay Cutler. Well, you have the high-powered offense. Why aren't you using it to your full best ability? And then another finger is going to be pointed at head coach Mark Trestman. It's going to be tough.
Well, Trestman will go. I mean, look what happened to Lovie Smith. 10-6 season, he's out the window. Like, without getting rid of your quarterback, get rid of your quarterback. Like, honestly.
Exactly. Yeah, but let's sign him to a 7-year deal, even though, he's taking us to the playoffs and then he got hurt. So, but Niners win. I think defensively, MVP of the game, Patty Willis, best linebacker in the game right now, no question. So,
About to sneeze. Hold on.
Anquan Bolden, they're going to play well. Guys like, I hope Crabtree plays
Okay,
well.
back.
Fantasy implications, I hope Crabtree plays well.
Yeah,
So,
I know. Thank you.
he's on my team in my dad's league, so.
All right. I think it's so funny. We basically have like the same team, in our,
Except in different leagues, yeah.
Eagles and Colts. Monday Night Football. Oh my God. 8:30 p.m.
ESPN.
Colts coming off a pretty. They came back on the Broncos and then lost by 7, but
Not a bad performance.
yeah, I mean
They definitely had their chances that could have made that game more interesting.
Richardson 6 carries for 20 yards. Like, what a beast.
Woo!
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna pick the Colts at home because they're in Lucas Oil, and I think that they're at home and that's a tough place to go. I mean, the Seahawks found that out last year. Broncos found out about that last year. So, fourth quarter will be the Colts' quarter. They score 14 in the fourth quarter, and that 14 propels them by 7 to win the game.
Very nice. I think this is going to be a shootout. I think these two teams, defenses are Especially the Eagles. They looked like, if the Jaguars can dice you up, then I'm pretty sure this three-year-old Pee Wee league over in nowhere could definitely put up some points on you. I think both teams are going to put up a lot of points. I think Foles and Luck both have phenomenal games. I think McCoy has a good game. I would say Trent Richardson will have a good game running the ball, but let's face it, that's just not going to happen. I think it comes down to a fourth quarter turnover by Nick Foles, Napoleon Dynamite. I think Andrew Luck capitalizes on it and continues what he's been building his legacy in the fourth quarter. He's only 25 years old, and he's already got 17 come from behind or game-winning drives in the fourth quarter. Man, that is an impressive stat. Impressive.
Yeah, and I think for him, it's not if a Super Bowl is in his future; it's when Super Bowl is in his future.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that's the question. I think at home that crowd's going to be rocking, knowing the Colts need to get a win, especially considering what the Texans and Titans could do this week, going to 2-0 possibly. So I think the Colts get a big win at home and get some momentum riding into next week.
Yeah, definitely. So, all right, well, that's all the picks because Thursday night was very successful. But yeah, always and always and always hit me up on Twitter at @IA_Marksman. This guy is Kyle Lance 30 on Twitter. Hit him up. Send us questions for football talk.
Fantasy football, guys.
Fantasy football stuff too.
We're smart. We're smart guys when it comes to fantasy. We both won our games last week. We're
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
face each other in the championship. It's
Yep.
going to happen. Like,
Yep.
it's our destiny.
Yeah, okay, Alberto Del Rito. Alberto Del Rito.
Joe.
Alberto Burrito.
Yeah. Oh, man.
SummerSlam in 2 weeks. Or in a week.
Night of Champions. Woo!
Pop Mon was sweating.
Yeah.
Pop Mon
Said
was
LeBron.
sweating. Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
also, NBA season coming up in a month. Getting closer and closer.
And NHL.
Yes, I know. He's getting close.
Being very close.
And yeah, I have enough followers on Twitter, guys. This guy,
Yeah.
I want you to get him to 1K by this time next year. It's gonna happen.
I hope to God. That'd be nice.
On IA_Marksman. You can follow me, ask me any questions, ask him questions concerning fantasy football. But other than that, guys, have a good week. And
Yeah.
if we picked against your team, I apologize unless you're a Giants, Redskins, or Eagles fan.
Yeah.
Because if I
Well,
picked them, don't expect it very often.
And if you ask me questions about fantasy football, make sure to follow him. Make sure to follow my directions. Unlike this guy right here, didn't just start Jordy Nelson 3 times. I told him to start Jordy Nelson. Jordy Nelson put up 20 points. So, you either live or let die, and give us a really sad time in Kyle's life because we both didn't even make the playoffs last year. Actually, no, I think I made the playoffs last year because they ate the bones is my freaking thing because of Georgia. But
I made
still.
the playoffs, and I think we both made the playoffs. But gotta catch them all, guys.
Yeah, gotta catch them all. Well, except for
Pokemon.
STDs, but still. All right, well,
Ooh.
thank you guys for listening to
And
Football
on that
Talk
note-
episode 2. Yeah, thank you for listening to episode 2 of Football Talk season 2.
Go Barry College Vikings in this game today.
Yeah, go
Shout
UGA. I mean, sorry, I'm just playing. Go UNG. I forgot. They're facing. and then
Josh!
Go Blazers because they're
Josh!
facing Salem State after winning 34-7 last weekend. So going for that national title, baby.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.